So who's got more friends and family coming? Is it you and Rashid, trying to get all the tickets here?
Me, Rashid, Cam Brown, Cam Sullivan Brown, you name it. We got a lot of Maryland guys on the team.
Kind of going off of that, how much familiarity do you have with a lot of these Maryland guys?
A whole lot. I mean, that whole 2017 class, I know all of them boys. Isaiah Hazel was also there, and I kind of grew up with him, saw him as a young pup, so I'm familiar with a lot of guys.
Any contact with them this week, or?
Not a lot. Isaiah called me, that's about it.
Talk football when you call, or?
No, we see how he was doing. I don't really like talking football during this week. I just see him on the field, so.
Now it's not happening.
I'm sure I know you heard all about this during your recruitment, but it's been the mission for them to keep Maryland kids home. Obviously, you've got a few good ones up here at Penn State. Conversely, what's your sales pitch to a kid in Maryland considering leaving home and coming to Penn State at this point? What would kind of be, what do you say is the reasoning behind why you should leave home and why you should take a chance somewhere new?
Yeah, I would just tell them, go with your heart, go with your gut. I chose this place because it was the best fit for me, academically, the coaches, the players. I fit here the best. So I would just tell them, go through the process, really understand what schools have to offer you, what schools will do for you after football. So that would be the main things I would tell them.
Was there some heat involved, whether it was just social media or family, friends, when you do leave home, and you're not the only guy to do it? Wayne Haskins did it years ago. Rasheed Walker did it come here.
Yeah.
Do you get some kind of feedback that kind of still stick with you when you go back down for a game like this?
I would say no, just because I played high school there and I'm familiar. I think you can't really overlook you leaving the state. I mean, when I go back, there's a lot of love from everyone. Even the Maryland players show love as well. So.
What's the key to becoming consistent?
To
becoming consistent.
I would say doing all the little things correctly, not overlooking any small detail, whether that be scooping, scoring, running to the ball, just always giving 100%. I think once you do those things, being consistent actually just comes with that.
Do you think it's harder for younger players to learn how to be that way?
Yeah, because practice is kind of different. In high school, you kind of just do whatever, but here, every minute is kind of structured and you're always running around. So you kind of get tired from running from the offensive field to the defensive field. So you really got to learn how to practice. And then once you learn how to practice, you become way more consistent.
Is it one of those things that I'm sure you're helping them, but is it better for them to learn it on their own, or do you try and help them in ways that accelerates that process?
I think it's just something you have to go through. Obviously, I'm there to kind of, all right, we're over here for daily skill, or we're over here for team one, but it's just something you got to get used to.
How long did it take you to figure out how to practice?
Probably like 2 weeks, maybe, just getting used to everything of the flow of practice and the timing of everything, and just never being able to just walk around. Probably you're always running around. So
James is mentioning how difficult it is for you guys to stay busy waiting for a Friday night game as opposed to a Saturday night game where there's games throughout the day. How difficult is it for you guys as players to try to keep yourself active and just not laying around all day doing nothing?
I think the coaches and people who put together the schedule do a great job of giving us rest, but also having us in meetings, having us doing region and stuff like that. So I think they kind of take care of it, and we just show up where we need to be.
Hey, Tariq, I'm not sure how many opportunities you get to go against KJ Hamler in practice, but when you guys are repping and things like that, what kind of challenge does he pose that's maybe a little bit different than other receivers you faced this season, and what makes him a little bit special for you guys? Yeah,
he's definitely a special dude. I mean, his quickness put together with his speed is dangerous. If you don't get hands on him, he'll just run by you. So you really got to do a good job of staying patient, using your hands when you need to, and just taking all the proper cutoff angles and stuff like that. But he does present a road problem. And I'm curious, it was made a big deal like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, about his nickname being the human joystick. Do you guys still playfully call him that at all, or is that kind of gone by the wayside? No, I think some people jokingly call him, but I call him KJ. I call him nothing special.
Tariq, you mentioned how much it meant to you to go back to Maryland 2 years ago as a freshman, but now in this role, how much do you feel like you've changed as a football player just from a confidence standpoint?
Yeah, I've grown up a lot from going back there just my freshman year period. I'm more mature. I attack practice differently, so I'm excited to go back.
Is there an area of your game you look at even a year ago at this point that you've seen the most growth and development?
I think two things: my confidence. Coach T does a great job of just keep building confidence in his players, and then probably my tackling. It wasn't that good freshman year, and then I think each year I kind of improved, and this year I think I'm doing a great job of tackling.
I was going to go. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Has it been an adjustment for you in terms of a leadership role? Obviously, like last year, guys like Amani was here, but how have you stepped up in that regard and become a leader for other corners?
Yeah, I think last year I tried to do a good job of trying to be a leader to the freshmen, but now it's just trying to be a leader for everyone in that room, whether it be a freshman. I know I help John Reed, and John Reed helps me, so no matter if you're a fifth-year guy, everyone's trying to get coached up and things like that.
I was going to mention your tackling. It stood out in the field this year. I mean, in your mindset, you see a guy one-on-one. I mean, is there just no doubt at this point that you're going to be able to make that play? Because it seems like that is pretty rare for people on the perimeter at cornerback. You watch the NFL, there's a lot of guys who can't tackle on the outside. How much is that a point of pride for you?
Yeah, it's definitely a point of pride. Coach T says that if you touch him, you got to get to the ground. So, and then we do new drills in practice that kind of help my tackling and John Reed's tackling all the corners. I think I'm super proud of how all the corners have been tackling. Hope we keep it up.
James mentioned after the Pitt game how much he was pleased with you and John as a duo on the outside. Is there another duo in the country that you think is more confident playing better than you guys are right now?
I don't think I can name any other duos in the country, but I think me and John have been playing well. I think we feed off each other. He works hard. I try to emulate how he works hard and approaches practice. So I think he's been still helping me along the way too.
When you watch film, how much of it, when you go onto the field, is trying to identify what you think the play is? How much of it is just sort of, I want to be in the right place to kind of react to what they're going to do? What are you doing when you watch film and then take it on the field?
Looking at down and distances, whether I should press, play off, things like that. Just putting myself in the shoes of, if I had that route combination come to me, what would I do in this coverage versus this coverage? I think that's a lot of the process through my mind as I watch film. So.
There's a good Kobe documentary where he breaks down one of his games, and he says in there that by the time you get through most of the NBA season or whatever season, there's so much film on you that really it's about execution. It's not about trying to fool anyone. Do you feel like football is the same way, that really it's not so much I'm trying to trick you, that'll happen, but really it's just a matter of out executing the other guy?
Yeah, as far as film study, it's just a matter of finding like tendencies, and as a receiver looking at the splits where he runs this route versus another route. So I think it's a lot of anticipation, and once you watch the film and you're out there, that's how John Reed was able to get a pick six on that out route, because we saw it a lot of times. So.
Going up against Maryland split offense and a guy like Josh Jackson in his mobility is something unique for this team this season. How important is you guys as corners to have that ability to recognize when a guy like Jackson moves outside the pocket, takes off and runs, and your ability to get back and tackle?
Yeah, I think that's very important, just being able to get off blocks, also stay in your man for scramble rules, because he is going to scramble. So you just got to make sure your eyes are always at the right spot.
You said that you're pretty confident now. You seem pretty confident now. Going back a year or 2 years, I guess when did you kind of find that confidence? Because I'm sure you probably always had it, but when guys get to college, it's a little different.
I don't remember the exact moment, but I think it kind of just kept building and building, and then now we're here. So
it wasn't like one particular game?
No, I don't think it was one particular game, but I think each year I just started trusting, and me lifting weights and knowing that I'm capable of keeping up with these guys.
You guys, Coach Franklin had mentioned that stopping screens and being able to get off the field was a big point of emphasis within the past week. How did you guys emphasize it, and what are maybe some of the things that you think you guys are going to be able to do better now after kind of focusing on that?
I think we just went over how you fit the screen, We just rep that a lot of times and recognizing when the screen is coming, what down and distance is going to come. I think that's some of the things we're doing.
What's maybe one of the hardest things about that? Because I think people sit at home and everybody, that's what they think third and long, but obviously you guys got a million other things that you're thinking through in those instances.
The screens or
Yeah.
the screens?
Yeah, screens in general.
I would say a person being hesitant when they approach the screen, because that's how it kind of gets started. So the first person who kind of is responsible to force it has to go, and then everybody else has to make them right. So.
Just kidding.
Coach Franklin just spent some time talking about the redshirt rule and how you can play 4 guys, and now they're managing that. Your class was the last class that didn't have that. You played Lamont and Nitor. Is there any kind of, like, I guess, is there a way that you guys look back and say, man, I wish other people had an opportunity to play that year, not just the 3 of us? And how do you see it kind of helping with the development of last year's class and now this year's class, something that you didn't have the chance to do?
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad I played early in U2. I think we were ready. So I'm glad how Coach Franklin kind of handled that whole thing and put me in when I was ready, and then just throw me in the fire but kind of ease me along. But I do think the 4 games help a whole lot, just because you kind of get your feet wet, you can see what it's like, and then if you're ready, you're going to play, and if you're not, you're just going to have to wait till the next year and keep building your body and things like that. So I think it's just how you approach if you redshirt, how you approach it, if you attack it or not. And then you do get the 4-game experience for the next year, which I think is really good versus not playing at all and just redshirting. So.
The only other question I have is CJ Owens made his first appearance on the 3D on the depth chart this week. Played running back last time we saw him for a while in the practice field. How have you seen that transition go for him, and what kind of just athlete is he? A kid who played at Notre Dame and is now here at Penn State.
Yeah, I think he's a great athlete. I mean, he's done everything the coaches asked him on the field, whether it be special teams, defense, or whatever you name it. I think he's given 100% with whatever they asked him, so I'm proud of him.
How have you kind of seen Joey Porter develop as one of those young guys?
Yeah, he's developed a whole lot. I mean, he has 34-inch arms, so it's kind of hard to get around him. I'm trying to teach him how to practice still, but it's one of my favorite freshmen. I mean, he's blossoming.
34-inch arms? Have you ever been around a guy with arms like that?
Nah. And it just looks so easy for him, honestly.